What's up, everybody?
Hi, everybody.
We're back with another episode of All Things Marriage. We're your host again, Derek.
Crystal Robinson.
And today, in the spirit of Valentine's Day
and all lovey-dovey things.
And all love and things of that nature, we're coming back to our party game. We're just going to have a little bit of fun today as opposed to some of the deep conversation.
Right, because we tired, y'all, in the body. I don't know about y'all, but
it's been a few days.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't catch the last time we played this particular game, the conversation party game, that's what it is. We're playing the conversation party game. We'll drop a link in the description if you think it seems kind of cool and you want to give it a shot. You want to explain the rules?
So we have a question and answer section and a statement and reactions section. So we're just gonna take turns picking up cards and reading them off, and getting the answer or response from the other person. How many are we doing this time?
We are going to do 2 questions each, 2 statements each.
Okay, 4.
Okay, so yes, we're clear. But before we jump into the game, we want to say again, as always, we always appreciate all of your likes, all of your comments, all of your subscriptions. We love the support. And so we want to ask that if you enjoy the game or if you see something you like, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, give us a like, and drop in the comments, some of your answers to the questions or questions you like to be asked.
Yeah.
And if you're new to the channel, subscribe so you can get all notifications on every time we upload new content.
Yes.
And that being said, let's hop into the game.
Yes.
And ladies first.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with a statement and reaction since it's closer to me.
Sure.
Okay. Guys, let's see. So, real love and infidelity cannot coexist. Yeah. I actually read this the other day. Somebody had posted this and was just like, yeah.
I feel like it's true. If you are, because the act of infidelity, or not even just the act, the mindset of infidelity is a mind state of selfishness. It's a mind state of looking out for and caring for only for oneself, or not necessarily only, but definitely prioritizing my individual wants and needs over what's best for the collective, what's best for the union, right? And so that's not to say that you cannot genuinely care for a person or persons,
right,
and create and take part in that type of act. But just in my opinion, to be truly in love with someone or to have real love for someone is to want what's best for them and to always want them to be in a state of growth and progression and positivity. And so infidelity is like the antithesis of that.
Okay.
Word of the week, antithesis.
Guys, I'm gonna have to hear that like every day. And yeah, and I'm not gonna try to say it because I have a lisp, so no.
I may come up with a different word of the week by the end of this, but for right now it's antithesis.
Antithesis.
Yep. That's it. You did good.
No.
All right. Moving right along.
Okay.
Question. I don't know if we did this one. How many dates should a man pay for before the woman pays for or at least offers? I think the one we did was gassing. How many dates before you should be at gas?
Yes. For this one, I think it depends. If I pursued you, then I should honestly, in my mind, be prepared to pay for the date. not even offer, or I'm asking you out on a date.
Like, hey, let's go on a date.
Right. Therefore, I need to make sure my bag is secured so I can take you out on a date. Regardless.
Fair.
Because if I'm asking you on a date, just like I would think as a man, if you ask me out on a date, you're prepared to take me somewhere that you've thought of, that you've planned out, and that you're prepared to pay for. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're saying, you know, let's go Dutch, then we should hang out sometime. To me, we should hang out, because if I'm hanging out with my homegirls, you know, my guy friends Coop, and you know, if I'm hanging out with Brooke, if we don't have it, we'll say, yeah, I don't have it, you know, and then we'll be like, all right, cool, I got you. You give that person the opportunity to do that. But if I'm asking, I'm clearly prepared to take you, you know what I'm saying? But I think if, you know, you ask me out and we've gone out on a couple of dates, and then I'd be like, you know, you sure you don't want me to, you know, pay for this? I got this. It's my treat, you know what I'm saying? I think it should not be like obligated, but I think that conversation or, you know, suggestion should come up at some point.
Can I get my answer?
Sure, babe. Because I already know what he's going to say.
My personal answer, and, you know, we can go back and you can answer, you know, my response.
No, I agree with you.
Okay. My personal answer to this, and it may seem a little controversial, but it's a hard 3. After 3, it needs to be on the table. And here's why. Because especially if most mature men, if they're dating with some type of purpose in mind, meaning I'm trying to seek something a little bit deeper than just hanging out with you. Right? Whether that deeper is, you know, a full-on, I want to be in a relationship, I want to get married, whatever the deeper is. Most grown men are looking for something deeper than just we hanging out as homies, right? And so the mindset is, if the first time I ask you out, I'm letting you know that, you know, I'm interested in you, and I want to see if there's a connection, right? And so of course I'm trying to impress and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna make it special. I'm gonna make it lavish, whatever the case may be. That's on me. Date number 2 says, I like what I saw the first time, and I am looking to learn a little bit more. I want to see what's behind the veil, if that makes sense. Not necessarily that on date 2, you know, you gotta be all in the, okay, so we're gonna get married in June. No, but like date for me anyway, date 2 is, I went on the first date, I liked what I saw, but I understand that it's guarded because it's first date.
It's first date.
And so second date is a little bit, not necessarily more laid back, but a different style of date than like the super fancy or whatever, because I want to see who you are as a person, right? And then date number 3, at that point, if the woman is still accepting these dates after date number 3 is, she's interested in you. You know what I'm saying? I ask you out a third time and you're like, oh yeah, you know, and we go, then clearly there's something that she likes, or something that she's interested in, and wants to see more about, right? She's comfortable and willing to give her time to this person. And so I look at it as, I'm showing you that I'm willing to provide, or I have the means and the capability of provision. I'm showing you an element of what I bring to the table. I need to see and understand what it is you're bringing to the table. So at that point, not necessarily, okay, you don't have to pay for any more dates. I got it now. I'm the woman and I'm independent. No, but at least the offer to, and my caveat is maybe not to pay for the date, but at least the offer to either contribute or mitigate costs. Okay. Saying as a sign of not only am I interested, but I'm not here to make things harder or more difficult for you. I can bring to the table, I can help, I can assist, I can bring value other than company. Right?
So I guess you're saying like I can suggest different dates that may not be as expensive or lavish, but it could be creative in the sense of I've been listening to you. I know that you like X, Y, and Z. This is something that we can try, and it's actually free, or it's actually I got the hookup, so my girl let us in.
I found a deal. I got a deal on this thing, whatever. Something to like I said, it's not necessarily offering to pay, but mitigate costs.
Right.
To say, here's a value that I can bring to a situation. I'm not, like I said, I'm not just, and this is gonna sound terrible, I'm not just an expense.
I understand that.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, every day, lobsters. Give me the lobster. Give me the sirloin steak.
Right, yeah. Like, I need the filet mignon, the lobster.
I need the best bottle of whatever you got.
Whatever you drink.
I don't know what it is.
Pepsi. That was my I'm tickled laugh.
You were weak.
Anyway, let's keep moving on. Next card.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do a question and answer now.
Okay.
How should the finances in a relationship be managed? Which is funny because that's kind of a go off of.
Yeah. It's a spring off of this last question. For me, who's the best with money? Who has the best money management skills? Ideally, you guys can work together and come up with a system that works for both of you. But and I feel like we've hit on this
a little bit before. Pretty sure. Thank you, babe.
Sentimental.
I can't.
But no, if I'm the man, I'm the breadwinner, whatever. But if I don't know how to save money, if I don't know how to manage money, if I don't know how to build and grow money, then I probably, go to work, but that don't mean I need to be in charge of the finances. You know what I mean?
Right.
And vice versa, if I am really, really good with money and so on, that doesn't mean I'm demonstrative and you only get $10 a week. No, like you work out.
Because I'm about to rob your pockets when you
right. But no, you work out a system. You both sit down and discuss what your current financial status is, and set some goals, some individual goals and some collective goals, and figure out a plan to meet those goals. And then whoever is better managing the money spearheads those plans and drives those plans.
And for the weaker vessel, I think it's important that you learn at least to an extent how to manage the money, how to bring in other avenues and other monetary value to the whether it's we're gonna thrift shop, whether we're gonna coupon certain things to be able to say, okay, well, maybe I'm still spending frequently, because in life there's things to buy all the time. Like,
you just buy. You're just out here buying.
But you're gonna make sure that, okay, I'm not buying the most expensive thing on the shelves.
Right.
I'm not buying from the most expensive store that I could possibly go to just because I like the ambiance.
Right.
Target, for example.
That's not the most expensive store,
It's
but no,
not.
Target be OD sometimes.
It's not. But I think it's important that you learn how to manage money. Transparency moment. I like to shop at Amazon.
No facts.
And that probably won't change. I probably always go to Amazon, especially during COVID.
Nice.
And you know, as long as the bills were paid, you know, we was good.
Yeah.
I got $50. I can go to Amazon now.
Right, and truth be told, I don't like to shop. I do like to spend money.
He's the bougie one, bro.
No. Okay, so here's the thing. My philosophy for spending money is, if I know I'm bringing in, hypothetically, because nice round numbers,
200,000.
No.
Oh.
What? If I know I'm bringing in $1,000 a week, I get paid once a week.
I was looking at the bigger picture.
Okay. I get paid once a week, and every week it's an even $1,000, right? Mm-hmm. If I know my bills are $995 a week, I can't go out here and just decide I want to get a $500 game system today. You know I need to wait 500 weeks to save that $5 a week to get it. Now, after 500 weeks, it may seem spare the moment. After 500 weeks, I've been saving it just to throw this $500, but I've calculated the cost. Yeah. I've created a plan, and I've weighed the options, and boom. But if I'm $1,000 a week and my bills are only $200, my mindset is, once I've spent the $200 on bills, and I know that I have $800 to play around with, then whether I spend $1 of that $800 or $800 of that $800, I've budgeted and I've decided that the $800 is play money. And so I can play with it however I feel like. Right. Now I can choose to invest it and make it grow or something like that. But once I've decided that this is play money, then we playing. That's just how it is.
I felt like we was at the casino. We playing.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, so that's my philosophy. Make sure the bills are taken care of. Make sure you've put something aside for a rainy day. Yeah. Make sure you've considered the emergency, or like there's a rainy day fund, and then there's a just general saving to grow fund or invest fund, and then you have your play money, and boom, you're good to go.
And that's why I think it's important for the other partner who isn't that well with money to learn, because what if something happened to the one who is capable of managing, and that you have to step into that role, whether it's temporarily or permanently. Right. You know, we're human, so we all go through things, and you know, you might lose your job. COVID came, people lost their jobs. How was that money managed before and during? Right. Because the hope and the plan is, even with COVID, that you didn't have to touch the money, even still, that you had saved, because you learn how to manage money. The money that I am getting in now, I can learn how to maneuver that. Yeah,
move and twist and turn.
So I won't have to touch that, and it's the actual last resort.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a good one, though.
Cool. So statement and reaction. Oh. Having a child makes you less attractive than someone that didn't.
Did it say didn't?
Doesn't. So essentially, mothers are less attractive than those who don't have kids.
Well, I don't have kids yet, and I like, cookies and cakes. So, maybe I'm not attractive to somebody. Maybe you can find somebody who has had a child that for some reason is more attractive to me. But I guess that depends on the person.
Attractiveness is subjective.
Yeah, because I know there are a lot of guys that I went to college with that was coming for y'all mamas.
That was expressly seeking out
Your
mothers.
mamas. Yeah, like, oh, they got some kids.
There's a
good
category.
for a mama. Yeah, there's a category. Yeah.
Of person.
I was about to say, I do not need you to say there are rules to the internet.
No, there are rules to the internet, but that's not what I was referring to.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a category of person.
There is.
Yeah.
There are categories of person. I just really felt that conversation come back.
No, oh my gosh, I can't.
Yeah, so.
Get yourself together.
So, yeah, I think it depends.
Yeah,
it really depends.
It's subjective.
Some people see the kids, and they just be like, I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at your kids. Nope.
Right. And then maybe a lot has to do with how you raise these kids.
Yeah, it does.
If you got 4, 5, 6, 7 and
all of them by different
dads and they wild.
Mamas.
And they out here just crazy.
But we have to say moms and dad because
yeah.
We got to get out of that mindset.
Right, true.
Yeah.
Then that may make you a little less attractive to me.
And so it really depends. It really depends on what you are interested in. If you're looking at the individual,
right.
How that individual raised their children.
Right, yeah,
because if your kids are real bad and like nobody can tell, not even you can tell them what to do.
That's unattractive.
That's very unattractive.
But if your kids are nice, well behaved, respectful, whatever, that actually becomes
plays in your favor.
Yeah, that becomes more attractive, honestly.
Yeah, like, you handle them children well.
Yeah.
And you doing it by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's super subjective question.
Yep.
Anyway.
So mine. All right. Statement and reaction, guys. It is not considered cheating if you are not married.
I don't know who made this rule, but it sounds, and I'm gonna use the word dumb.
Oh,
stupid, ignorant, unlearned.
Thank you for the definition, Webster.
No, like because and again, if you're in a relationship or if you're in an entanglement, since that's the word of 2020, whatever.
We were definitely entangled in 2020.
No, 2020 itself
a different entanglement
was an entanglement.
Had the hands around your neck.
But that's besides the point. No, if you're in a situationship with a person. The idea at its base level is that you're growing together and you're building together.
Right.
And so that goes back to the whole infidelity question. If it's cheating when you're married, then it's cheating when you're with the person who you're considering marrying.
Right. Because dating, engaged. So if I'm engaged to you and you cheat on me, that's not considered
that's
cheating?
Still not cheat.
It's like, no, it's the same action. Right. We were in a committed relationship.
Right.
We agreed that we weren't sleeping with anyone else.
Right.
We agreed that we were the only people.
Let's just be clear. Even if you didn't verbally agree that you weren't, if you decide that we are in a relationship, it's like the fine print. That's a part of the agreement. Yeah. We know that
there was no open in front of that relationship.
Yeah, like that's an unspoken rule.
Right.
And if it's, in my personal opinion, if it's an open relationship, it's really not a relationship. Like we just friends at this point,
Because if I see you walk down the street and you holding hands with somebody else, you shouldn't say nothing to me. Act like I'm a stranger. We in an open relationship. That means when I see you by myself, we together.
That's a story for a whole other day. But I don't understand that mindset. I mean, I know people feel that way. I don't understand it though. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. It's cheating.
Yeah, it's cheating.
It's cheating.
Before we go further, do you wanna plug the?
Oh yeah, our shirt. His good thing.
I had to read it. I found I found my good thing, you know, nice old all things marriage.
Proverbs 18:22.
Right. If you like these shirts here or any of the graphic tees or whatever
that we be having on,
we have an awesome plug for you guys. We'll drop a link in the description on where you can get shirts like these and again any other types of graphic tees. We'll drop a link.
That's my word of the day.
Sure, plethora. It's a good one.
That was condescending.
You know, nice company called I Love Me.
I Love Me T shirts. I Love Me T-shirts. I was about to just leave off the shirts.
Okay, yeah. I Love Me T-shirts. We'll drop a link in the description. We know the owner of the company. She's an awesome lady. Does awesome work. And we love her. So yeah.
Love you, sis.
But moving on. Just wanted to plug that for you guys because you know she's great.
Awesome.
But moving on. Question and answer. Dun dun dun. Your parents, I was confused. Your parents' best friend, oh no, partner. Why can't I read? It's the same letters. Antithesis. I was ready to say this has nothing to do with couples, right? Your partner's best friend just came on to you. What do? It's the same letters, parent and partner.
Shoot him in his face.
Oh.
Pause. No, we're gonna scratch that part.
I don't know what that was about.
No, if your best friend came on to me, first and foremost, this is gonna sound rude. I would not be surprised first because I would actually be like, "Are you playing?"
Right.
Because of how y'all,
how we are, yeah.
And I'm just like, are you serious right now?
Right.
And I probably would be laughing, and then I'd be like, Derek,
get him. Right.
What is going on with him?
Right.
I would not get offended until I knew that he was 100% serious.
Then it's just like, all right, bro.
Yeah. And again, he's gonna already know because I'm like, let me tell you what he did.
Right.
So yeah, I would not get offended at first until I knew he was 100% sure.
Right.
I would tell my spouse, and then he got to get cut. I mean, like cut from the friendship.
You cannot murder him.
I didn't say murder him. I said cut him. Cut him from the friendship. Not like stab.
I ain't gonna hold you. If your best friend came on to me, I would assume it was a setup.
Probably so.
Like I would legitimately assume that this was a plan that y'all came up with for whatever reason. And there's like a camera or something somewhere. I am being set up. I'm being framed. And yeah.
And that would probably more than likely happen before marriage. Like
right, yeah.
Now it's just like we too grown for this.
Ain't nobody got time.
Ain't nobody got time. But yeah, we love our best friends.
Yeah.
And we clearly know them. So
right.
Yeah, that's about it.
Uno más.
You do a question. I'll do a question. How long would you date someone before marriage became a requirement?
Well, for me, it's like 1 to 2 years tops.
I'm scared at this response.
It's 1 to 2 years, like maximum 2 years. Like it's just like, after 2, we gotta know something. We gotta have some plans. You know what I mean? Because we dated for 2 years, and then But nah, real talk.
No, we dated for 2 years before we
got engaged.
No. Yeah. Well, that time frame, guys, is a little, for us. So, it could have been 2 years. I don't know. I thought it was it. Why are you looking like that? Done? Because it says how long would you date someone before marriage became a requirement.
Right. No. Yeah.
Requirement, but we had kind of went in knowing. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so our dating experience was 2-year dating experience, 1 year engagement. Boom. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a requirement.
Yeah.
At that point, it's weird. I don't think that you should go into a dating experience, and with the requirement that you marry me at a certain point, right? Because let's just say you're dating and you haven't learned the necessary things, or you're not financially stable, you're not in a mental place of where you should be married. Right. Like, you're not in the mind state to be married, but you are in a mind state, or you do have an understanding that this is someone who I want to build with. I want to marry them. I want to do. Right. But I understand that I need to get myself together, or they need to get themselves together. I don't think you should be on like a hard timeline of, if you don't marry me, if you haven't proposed to me within the first 6 months, or within the first year or 2 years or 3 or whatever. Like, I don't think you should put a hard timeline and say, if you haven't married me by this point, then we're done. I don't want anything to do with you. That to me that's unrealistic, and that's kind of naive. However, I also don't think you should be dating a person 10, 15 years and we just dating.
I'm about to say, I know some people that, mostly celebrities. right. We're engaged for 10, 15 years. And it's just
because to me at some point you should have the understanding of, I want to be with this person long term. Let's solidify this thing. At some point, that has to be your mindset.
Right.
So I don't think you should just be out here 20 years, we just dating, but at the same time, you do have people that like, we're high school sweethearts or middle school sweethearts. And so realistically, we started dating in middle school, then you had 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, and then 2 years to establish yourself in your career. I mean, that's 12, 13 years at that point.
Right.
That's a little bit different a dynamic than, I met you in my adulthood, and I met you at 25, and then I date you for 15 years. That you see what I'm saying? So
I think requirement is
the word.
The word that is tricky, because I can say I want to be married. I don't want to be in a relationship that's longer than 3 years without getting engaged and progressing to marriage.
Right.
I can have that as what I desire.
Right.
Requiring that of someone means that they have to
meet your
do this thing. And it's just like, no, because they don't have to be in a relationship with you. Right. So you can say, this is what I want. Right. And they have the ability to say, that's not what I want. And then from there, you both decide, are you going to stay or are you going to separate ways? Right. That's where that whole requirement thing, and it's just like, because, a lot of people can look at us and be like, we dated for
a super long time.
A long time, but it's just like, no, we actually didn't. As far as marriage concerns. Like, you know,
Right, yeah.
like y'all dated for a while before y'all got married. And it's like, right. But that doesn't mean that we didn't have conversations about marriage.
Right, yeah.
That doesn't mean that we didn't say we're going to get married
at some point.
And have those conversations.
Yeah.
We both knew our situations, whether or not we were financially, emotionally ready for marriage.
Right.
But we knew that we both desired the same things.
Right.
So,
and then for me too, the other, so the two parts that make this a weird, difficult question is, one, the concept of, like you said, requirement, but then two, it's the timetable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do believe that marriage should be the requirement.
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed to just to tie me up, for lack of a better term, for, like I said, the next
Right.
10, 15, 20 years and have no intention of marrying me.
Right.
You're not allowed to
Right.
do that. However, to say that I'm giving you a hard deadline
Right.
is, and if you don't meet this deadline, then basically you're nothing to me. That's a little bit much, you know.
Yeah, and again, you're not dead to me. I just want to move. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
especially for females, you know, we have a clock. Males have a clock too, but female clocks are a little bit different. I think we can agree to say that female clocks are a little bit different. There's
I believe in the Bible. Ain't no clocks.
Well, you know, the Lord is kind.
I'm just saying.
But there is a level of we have to, if we want to produce children,
Right.
if we want to, you know, not have a possible bad pregnancy or difficult pregnancy,
Complications,
we want to have children
Medically,
before a certain time. So we have all of those things that are weighing down on our emotions, weighing down on our mental state. And so when you're talking about 30 plus, you're like, okay, I'm dating this guy and I've been dating this guy for 5 years at this point. You know what I'm saying? I haven't, but but that's what we're thinking. You're not feeling like we're having those conversations. Every time I bring up marriage, it's why we gotta get married and I'm not ready for that. It's all excuses. And it's just like, well, I have the right. Nobody's taking away your right.
Yeah.
Everybody has the right. He has the right to say, I'm not ready for that. He has the right to say, I'm not financially where I desire or feel like I need to be in order to enter in marriage. He has that right.
Right.
But he also has the right to go find somebody else
Right.
that is willing to wait, that is willing to understand him a little bit. After you get married, certain requirements are there.
Right. Last one of the day. The man should pay majority of the bills in marriage.
Thank you.
For those of you in the back, the statement is the man should pay the majority of the bills in the marriage.
I would say no. Okay. I would say no. Especially if both partners are working. I would say no. That also goes back to the whole statement that we the conversation that we had earlier about making it financially feasible, and finding creative ways to save money and to expand your money and stuff like that. But no, I don't think if both are working, no. I think it's a partnership. I think that both should contribute. I think you don't have to pay every bill. Like, this month is my month, that month is your month. You can say, well, just because I'm going to pay all the bills this month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let you do whatever you want to with your money. Go on a shopping spree, whatever.
Right.
That play money that you speak of. Go ahead and do that with that. I think it's a support thing. I support you, you support me.
Yeah, it's a whatever. Again, it's the figuring out the financial system that works best for you. Maybe financially it doesn't make sense for the husband to pay all the bills. You know, hypothetically, the husband makes $40,000 a year. Meanwhile, the wife makes $70,000 a year. It doesn't. In a situation like that, it doesn't make financial sense for the husband to be the one who's paying everything.
Right.
And also, if you're married, then I don't believe that there is a, well, this is my money. I went to work. I made da 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 da. This is your money. You made. So my money pays for this, and this is my. I don't believe in that.
Right.
Like, if the husband makes $40,000 a year and the wife makes $70,000 a year, then you all make $110 a year.
Yeah.
Like, y'all have $110,000 a year.
Right, because that's what the government gonna see.
No, really. Like, y'all make $110, and you figure out when each bill is gonna be paid. And if you have multiple accounts, from which account, because what makes financial sense, not gender role. I'm the man, so I gotta pay the rent or the mortgage or whatever your situation is. Like, no.
I think that's kind of on the selfish side.
Yeah, that's mad selfish.
Yeah, because again, it's enough bills,
and we will not have it.
Okay, there's enough bills for everybody.
No, bills is one thing that bills and bullets. They ain't got no. Well, no, bills got names on them.
They do,
but
the ones I get definitely got my name on it.
Ignore that analogy. Scratch that. It's out the window. Yeah, but it's enough. It's enough to go. Yeah. It's enough bills to go around. Yeah. There's always bills. Somebody can pay something. We, right. I'm not hogging them.
Right. Especially because, again, if you're paying all the bills and I got free money over here,
I expect you to be making some changes, making some things happen.
Right. Are we paying down some debt?
Right. Like,
are we saving? Okay, when I ask you what's in your savings account, you should have $40,000.
No, really. Really.
What are you doing?
Like, literally, if I'm paying all the bills and you got a job and you making bread.
How?
When I say I need a new car, we need a new car.
Let's go get it.
You have been making, again, in this analogy, you've been making $70,000 a year. So after taxes, that's roughly 52-ish thousand, that should be in your bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you get a grocery here and there. You do a little Amazon shop. But at the end of the year, when I say I want a brand new car.
What you got?
Let's go to when I say I want this Chevy Silverado 3500 and
best believe.
And it's 62 without any of the bells and whistles. Midway of next year, I expect to go to the dealership and you just hand them your bank card and I walk off with my truck because I'm paying all the bills and this ain't a bill I need to pay. So
yeah, that's
like, for real.
We working together.
Yeah, like, anyway.
And when you get them keys, just make sure you slide them to me.
That's not what we said.
Because I want the Silverado too, so.
I will allow you to drive it. Sometimes.
Terrible. You see that out loud? That's alright. Go on and drive it. I'm gonna drag your wallet in my car to another store.
Anywho, that's a wrap for today, guys.
Yes.
It's been fun. Again, let us know, your thoughts and opinions on some of these questions, what you think. Drop in the comments. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Deuces.
Wow.